What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pat Outdoors. Today we're going to be working on my Yamaha YZ250. We're finally taking that thing out to a motorsports park this weekend, but before we can do that, I have to install a new set of tires on it. So I actually got myself a tire changing stand for the garage, along with some other tire changing tools, so we can do it ourselves. So let's go put this thing together and see how it works. Here's what it looks like fully assembled. It's pretty self-explanatory, especially if you follow the diagram that's provided with it. So I was able to put this whole thing together with just standard hand tools in less than 10 minutes. Here's what the hardware looks like up close. So how this works is you're supposed to swing this back, take this off, mount the wheel on, lock it in place, deflate the tire, and then swing this back. Have this lined up to the edge of the tire where it sits up against the rim, and press down on this to break the bead. You'll notice that there's different notches on this arm so you can adjust where you need this to be positioned. Since this is designed to work on dirt bike wheels from 14-inch to 21-inch in size, unfortunately it's not going to work on my razors, but these are pretty easy, so you're not going to need something like this. So I'm glad we got this, and now I can start changing these out myself without fighting it on the floor. I've heard dirt bike tires are a pain in the ass, so I'm excited to use it. I also got myself a set of tire spoons, rim edge protectors, and a valve stem core removal tool to make today's job a little easier. Here's the brand I went with and the part number. Here's the part number for the tire changing stand. If you are interested in checking out these items that I'm using for today's project, I will leave a link in the description below where you can get everything. Before I damage these Excel wheels on my YZ, I should probably practice by taking the tires off this older set of stock wheels, since they're already scratched up and have some minor bends along the edges. All right, guys, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. That was freaking frustrating trying to get that old set of dry rotted, almost hard as plastic set of tires off those old wheels. Must have been on there like 15 years. They were stuck on there, and I had to go to a brewery and take a break, have a couple beers, but now we're back home. My buddy David's actually gonna come over and help me out, put the bike on a stand, take the wheels off. Hopefully this next set is gonna go a lot smoother. I can't even imagine how much harder that would have been to do without a tire changing stand. Like if I had to hold the wheel down in place with my knees and try to take that tire off. Just a couple notes on this Nico tool set that we're using. These tire spoons are awesome. They work very well. But these rim edge protectors, this one already cracked all the way through, and I only used this on 2 wheels. So not very good quality. And then the valve stem core removal tool, I had to modify. So you remember it came as a cross. So when you stuck it in the valve stem to take the core out and you spin it, this part gets stuck on a spoke immediately, which is kind of funny. That's its only purpose. So I ended up pressing that out on a vise, and then it works efficiently. I also got myself a bead buddy, which I heard is a must-have tool whenever installing new tires. Here's what the old rear tire looks like. It's got chunks missing. It's got cracks in the dry rubber. It's almost like plastic. And here's what the new one looks like. What do you think is gonna have more traction? Got both front and rear tires inflated to 12 PSI. So this bike is now ready for its first official shakedown. I'm actually bringing it to Wicomico Motorsports Park tomorrow in Maryland. So hopefully this thing rips, and more importantly, hopefully it's reliable. So does a $70 tire changing stand work? I would say it definitely helps. It's not designed to physically help mount the tire on the rim for you, but being able to hold it in place and having a lot of leverage to break the bead when you're taking the old tire off is definitely a lot better than doing this with just simply tire irons or tire spoons. So the $70 is fully worth it in my opinion. The tire spoons that came with the Nico kit are freaking awesome, and so is the valve stem core removal tool once you modify it. I wouldn't use anything else in that kit. And the bead buddy is definitely a must if you're gonna try to do this type of thing by yourself, since it essentially acts as a third arm that keeps one portion of the tire pushed down and locked in place while you're using the other two arms to get the edge of the tire over the lip of the rim, which would be really hard to do by yourself. You would have to try to do it with 3 tire spoons. So for $16, I think that was a good investment. If you found today's video helpful in any way, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you like this kind of content, want to keep up with some of my projects, such as the YZ, my KLX, or any of my other projects, consider subscribing to this channel. But this is going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.